Good morning. Last time on the video we built our candy box for the bees. 3 inches deep. We put in 1/2 inch wire mesh. We stapled it down. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually go ahead and make the candy for the candy box. So I just want to kind of show you the recipe here. You take a bowl and we're going to get 3 cups of water. But to that, we're going to add a teaspoon of vinegar. What the vinegar is going to do for us, it's going to cut down on any possibility for mold in our candy box. So from that, we take and we add 3 cups of water. Sugar right here. So we take our vinegar and our water, just give it a good stir. Then what we're going to do, set that aside for a minute. We're going to use 16 pounds of sugar, but in order to mix it, we're going to do half and half. So we'll go ahead and we'll put 8 pounds of sugar in here. If you I don't know if you have a scale or what kind of scale you have. This is just a simple scale, kitchen scale, and I'll tear that so the weight of the bowl is excluded. And I'm going to put 8 pounds of sugar in here. Certainly would not want to make a mess with this. Okay, so we got our 8 pounds of sugar. Got a spoon. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to take and put half of that water in this bowl. It's about perfect. A bit darker too. Okay, so we put 1.5 cups of the liquid in the bowl, and this is not an easy task. It's going to take a little bit to get this mixed in, because we're going to put this in that box and we don't want it falling through. So what we want is we want it to be almost like a thick paste. So it takes quite a bit of mixing to get that water in here, but you don't want it too wet because then your mixture will run through the bottom of your screen. So it's going to take a little while here. One of the other things that we're going to do that some people do, some people don't, is I'm going to put a pollen patty in the middle of this candy block. So my bees are basically spoiled rotten. We're going to feed them the sugar candy over the winter, and when they eat about halfway through the sugar candy, they're going to find one of these I ordered them online. Healthy bee pollen patties. So you're going to find this pollen patty right in the middle of both layers of sugar. It says don't worry about taking the paper off. The bees will get rid of that. So we're getting close here. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this put together, and I'll leave it today and let it set up really good. And then tomorrow morning I'll go down and we'll do a video of us installing this and finishing up, closing up the beehive for the winter. So we're just about there, I think. Okay, what I'm going to do with this is, and I'm sure I'm going to have to be cleaning this kitchen up in a little while. I'm going to take, and I have a cutting board here that's the perfect size for this actually, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting it in. But one of the things you want to do is you want to build an access for the bees so they can come up or down through the sugar block to get in and out of the hive. So I'm just going to take these and set them in somewhere in here as I put this in, and once it's packed I'll pull it back out, and that will give the bees the access that they need. So it doesn't really matter where you put it. Scoot it over a little bit so I can. Continue to put this in here. Let me see if I can. Let's try to get where you can see what I'm doing. You don't want to press it too hard because you don't want to be pressing it through your screen, but you kind of want to give a little pack in there. Now I'm going to thin this out a little if I can, but get one layer in there. So that I can lay my pollen in. Cover that up a little bit. I think here in just a second we're going to probably pause this. I'll go ahead and get the other batch, the other 8 pounds made, because I don't know that you guys want to stand there and sit there and watch me make up another 8 pounds. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead, I'll make up my other 8 pounds, and then I'll come back to you. We'll put it in here, level it all out, and then we'll pull our chimneys out. So I'll be back to you as soon as I get my other 8 pounds mixed up. Okay, so we're back. we've got the rest of our sugar mix stuff here. And we're just going to go ahead and try to fill this candy box. Like I said, it's kind of quite the chore. That candy, or that sugar is a little difficult to stir. But if we leave this, like I said, we'll get it all leveled out. We'll let this set up today. Just set it in a cool, dry place. And by tomorrow, this will be a solid block. Should be pretty stable. You don't want to mash down on it too much, because you actually will force it through the screen on the bottom. And like I said, it's 16 pounds, so it's pretty hefty. But this should certainly get your bees through the winter, and with that little bit of added pollen cake, a little healthier than just the sugar. The other part of it is, you know, people go, well, how come, you know, so much? Should I do, you know, part now, part during the middle of the winter? Or in reality, put it all in there, feed your bees, make sure they survive the winter. And what you don't use, what they don't eat out of this in the spring, just take some nice hot water and melt it down, and can make syrup out of it and feed them next summer syrup water. So I think that's pretty good. I'm trying to kind of get it smoothed out here a little bit. But I think that's good. We'll lay that aside. And as you can see, we'll go ahead. This is solid enough that I can take these blocks out now, and don't know if I can show you or not here, but perhaps you can see the holes, but you get the idea. It just left 2 holes for the bees, so they've got plenty of room to come up whenever they want, wherever they want. I'm just going to set them back in there for tonight, just to make sure they don't cave in. But anyhow, that's really all there is to it. We've made our box last week. We turned around, we made our candy today. Tomorrow we'll put it in the hive and we'll finish that up. And getting close to the 1st of October, that's when I really want to pretty well lock up the beehive and not mess with it again until the spring. So if you enjoyed our video, please give us a thumbs up. And if it was very helpful, share it with a friend. And last but not least, please subscribe. We're going to have a lot more videos coming up. We're actually going to do some travel videos coming up shortly. So I'll be back with you tomorrow, I guess, when we actually put it in the hive. So for now, have a great afternoon, and thanks for watching.